Just a quick video about a question I get asked a lot, which is how long should I push my bulk fermentation at certain temperatures? In all my videos, I recommend keeping your dough temperature at 25 degrees Celsius, which is 77 degrees Fahrenheit, but I know that's not always possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to push your bulk fermentation when it's really cold or when it's really hot, and some temperatures in the middle. I'll explain to you how far to push the bulk ferment, when to pre-shape, and when to put it in the Balaton at all the different temperatures. Now, all the temperatures I'm going to show you is what works for me in my environment. You might have to tweak it a little bit to work for you, but they will be pretty much on par. So for the first temperature, which is the one I always use in my videos and my favorite, everyone that watches my videos knows I love 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. I will push the bulk fermentation to 50%. That's about 5 to 6 hours. I'll do 40% in the tub and then pre-shape, which is when you round it into a ball and put it into a Balaton. So that's about 10% more time. So by the time you put it in the fridge, it will be 40 plus 10 equals 50%. So that's a 50% rise. You always want to make sure that when you're doing the bulk ferment to a certain percentage, take into account how long the dough is sitting on the bench pre-shaping and how long the dough could be sitting in the Balaton if you do leave it in the Balaton. The last half an hour of your bulk fermentation is always going to be the fastest, and that's when you can easily overprove it. So pay attention to that. At the start, the bulk ferment is very slow, and at the end it speeds up, which is like a hockey stick. It goes slow and then whoosh, it goes straight into the air. Next is 27 degrees, which is 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Here I go about a 30% rise, and that's around 4.5 to 5 hours. I wouldn't go much higher than this when doing sourdough. Once you start hitting 28 to 29 degrees, which is 82.4 to around 84.2 degrees Fahrenheit, you start running into issues with your dough. I like to max out at around 26 to 27, which is 78 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. When I'm at those temperatures, I'll bulk ferment in the tub to about 25% and then do the extra 5% during the final pre-shape and shaping. Because the dough is warmer, it moves faster. So you want to get it into the Balaton and into the fridge as quickly as possible. The reason we stop at 30% here is because the dough is warm and it takes longer to slow down in the fridge and it could overprove. Unlike 25 degrees Celsius, the dough which cools very quickly in the fridge and doesn't continue proving much. Now, if the dough is cold, we would push the proof a lot higher because once it's in the fridge, it will slow down really, really fast and could underproof. Now, the next one is 23 degrees, which is 73.4 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a bit colder than I like, so I push to about 60%. Again, the dough will slow down faster in the fridge. So we want more rise in the tub, and I go about 6 to 7 hours. And I'll do 50% in the tub and then 10% during the pre-shape. Even colder, 21 degrees Celsius, which is around 69.8 degrees Fahrenheit. I've had a few of these days recently because it's been like really, really cold in Australia. Even my homemade prover has struggled. So when you open the door, all the cold air, like it just rushes in. So I'll push the rise to 75%. That's 70% in the tub, then pre-shape and wait about 10 to 15 minutes and put it in the Balaton and then into the fridge. And finally, the last case, 100% rise. I haven't been at this stage in years and I don't recommend it. The bulk ferment here is 12 plus hours. You get a lot more acidity, it builds up, and it's just not a good place to be. But if you're at this temperature, then yes, you want to push the bulk to 100%. Do 99% in the tub and 1% on the bench. Why 1%? Because if it's that cold, your room is going to be freezing. So you want to leave it in the tub so it's with the rest of the mix. So you'll have like, say, 8 kilos, 9 kilos, or 15 kilos. It will be with the rest of the dough. So it will stay warm. Where when you pre-shape and it's by itself, it will cool down a lot faster. So when it's really cold, it's best to leave the pre-shape to the very end. So you might even want to increase your fridge temp slightly so that it still proves in the fridge for a bit if you can. But again, I haven't been at this temperature for a long time and I try to avoid it. So that's it. Like I said, it's just a short video and I wanted something I could link people to when they ask me about the bulk ferment times. So I'm always writing comments on Instagram or YouTube with all the bulk ferment times that I use. So it should be easier now that I have this video, I can link people to it. I've also enabled a new feature on my channel. YouTube emailed me about 2 weeks ago. It's a community section where people can upload photos and post. If you want to share your bread, your macarons, that'd be awesome. You can even post photos if you're having issues, and I could try and help, which is an issue that I have in some comments where I can't really see what's happening. So with the community page, you can upload a picture of the problem and I'll be able to see it. So I should be able to help a lot more. And that's it. Well, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.